Hey guys, okay, so as promised, here's my DIY video on how to transfer images using Mod Podge. Actually, a little secret, this is my second video. First video, I put the image on upside down. So I had to paint over it and we're going to redo it now in my second video. But it's okay if you make mistakes with this. This is a very easy technique. If you don't like it or you make a mistake like I did, you can just paint over it and redo it. It's not a big deal. It's a really good project to do with your kids. If you're looking for some things for them to do, they can do their own project. They can help you with this. It is pretty easy. So let's go ahead and get started. Your to-do list, and I'll have that up here somewhere as well. You're going to need Mod Podge. You're going to need a brush to put the Mod Podge on, or one of the towel. A very wet cloth or sponge, rag, something very wet. You're going to need scissors, and you will need your image that you're going to transfer. So to transfer your image, to get your image, you just print it off the computer. You can do any color you want. You can do any image you want. Doesn't matter. That's one of the reasons why I like this project, because the possibilities are endless. If you're not into the farmhouse or French country or whatever you're into, you can just print out whatever image you want. If it's a modern style or just, for me, I'm just doing words today. I printed out French script. The most important thing to remember is that when you print out your photo or your picture, make sure that it is a mirror image. So you're printing it out pretty much backwards, because when you put it on, it's going to be the normal facing right side up. So make sure it's backwards. They call it the mirror image in the computer. So you can print that out. That's easy, and that's it. So what you're going to do is you're going to take the image that you are going to transfer, and you want to cut out as much of the excess paper as possible. You're going to remove this paper later, so the less there is for you to remove, the better it's going to be for you. This project can be a little on the messy side, so you want to get rid of as much of the paper as possible. I would say leave a little bit around your image. Don't go straight to the line of your image. You do want to leave a little bit. Here's what I'm doing. Just want to cut out as much as you can, leaving just the image and not the extra paper. So I have an image that I did already. I cut out already. I pre-did this so that you guys can see the video moving along. So what you're going to do, is you're going to take your Mod Podge. Oh, and I'm sorry, I did forget, but I'll tell you right now. The Mod Podge that you're going to use, it comes in a matte finish and a gloss finish. Depending on the finish of what you're putting your photo on will depend on which one you're going to use. I'm using a flat paint, so I'm going to use a matte finish for Mod Podge. If you're using a gloss paint, or the surface that you're putting your image on is glossy, you're going to want to use your gloss finish. Mod Podge dries completely clear. You won't see it, but the finish will be seen depending on what finish is on the item that you're doing the transfer on. So make sure you get the right one for that. Also, just to let you know, you can do this image on wood. You can do it painted wood, unpainted wood. You could do it on metal. I've done it on metal trays before. Painted metal. I've painted metal and done it on that as well. I have not tried it on glass. They do say you can do it on glass. I haven't tried it. I have a nice, easier technique I use for the glass, which I will do another video for that too, because that's pretty neat. I can make your own decals. So I haven't done it on glass, but you can. I would try it. It won't hurt. You can always just scrape it off. Glass, I'm pretty sure you would probably be able to scrape this off the glass. So that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, so what you're going to do, once you have everything cut out, hold on, my thing flew away. Sorry, my image flew away. What you're going to do is you're going to take what you're putting it on. I'm using it on drawer fronts, the front of the drawers. I'll make sure I'm putting it right side up this time, so I don't have to do the video a third time. But I am doing this on a project that I will show you on Instagram tomorrow, because I got to let this sit overnight. So tomorrow it'll be done and up on Instagram. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your Mod Podge. And I don't know why they make paper tops for Mod Podge. This is like the silliest thing I've ever seen or done. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me why they would use a paper one. Whatever. Okay, so you're going to take your brush. You're going to put the Mod Podge on, I would say pretty thick. Don't make it super thin. You're going to glob it on. You do want this to stick pretty good. Don't be afraid to glob it on. Don't pour it on, but you just make an excess amount. Will be good. You'll be fine with an excess amount on there. You're going to take your image and you're going to put it with the image side down. And you do have a little play. Once you put this on, you can maneuver it around. Make sure it's straight for a minute or so. I would say don't take forever, but you can do it for a minute or so. That'll be fine. Alright, and I'll probably fast forward this part of the video because my drawer is longer, so I'm covering the whole face of the drawer. So I'm just going to do the other side again. I'll show you what to do after you get everything on. I will fast forward this part. And you do have a little play. Once you put this on, you can maneuver it around. Make sure it's straight for a minute or so. I would say don't take forever, but you can do it for a minute or so. That'll be fine. At this point, because like I said, I have a couple more parts to put on. I have some spots here that are open that I want to fill in the gaps. So I'm going to I did some cutouts already so that this wouldn't take forever for you guys. But like I said, you can fast forward this part. Don't fast forward too far because I'm going to show you how to get this to stick on pretty good. Don't dry yet, bud. Like I said, this is a pretty cool technique to do. I have done this on things for clients of mine. I've done it for my own personal stuff. This is actually one of my personal items I'm doing it on. It's really, doesn't matter what style either. Just print out an image that's for your style. Alrighty then. Okay, so everything is on. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you get all the bubbles out. So you take your hand. I use my hand because I can feel where the bubbles are. I can feel the surface. Most people, honestly, take like an old credit card or a card to do it with. And they rub it that way. I find that if you do it too hard, which I probably do, you tend to rip the paper, especially if you put a lot of glue on, a lot of the Mod Podge on. You tend to rip the paper. I do. Maybe I'm a little rough, but we're all a little rough around the edges, so not a big deal. So yeah, so you just rub it on. Make sure you get all the creases out. Make sure you get all the bubbles out. And you're good to go. That's it as far as getting the image on. Super easy. And that's the image on. And that's it. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I put it on the right way this time. Holy mackerel. That was hysterical. I did my video last night. I was like, oh my god, my video actually turned out pretty cool. I have a lot of bloopers, but it turned out pretty good. And then all of a sudden I looked down, I'm like, oh no way. So I was like, it happens to all of us. Okay, so once you get this on, you are going to let it sit overnight. Don't do it early. You want this to be fully dry before you start taking the paper off. And I'll show you how to do that in a second, but make sure you let it sit overnight. You do it in the morning, wait till the next morning. If you do it at night, wait till the next afternoon. Just give it plenty of time to dry all the way. Otherwise, the ink probably won't stick as great as you want it to. Alright, so once that's done, and everything is dry, you are going to take your comes out. It looks pretty much the same some places, or you can actually see the image a little bit through the paper. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your your super wet, either rag, or you can do a sponge, doesn't matter. You're going to take it and you are going to wet the whole surface. I actually even just squeeze it on there. You're going to wet everything. Wet the entire piece. Okay? You see it? It's all wet. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to you're going to take the rag or whatever you have, and you're going to push a little bit harder, and you're going to be able to start seeing some of the paper come off. Don't scrub. You're just rubbing it lightly. You can start seeing that some of the image will actually get darker than the other places. And once I got this all soaked, and I start rubbing it, and I make sure that everything is nice and drenched, this is the messy part. I like to you like to use my hands. You can actually feel, if you take your fingers and you rub, don't be afraid to push down, just because the glue is dry, so you're not going to rub much off, just the paper. So you're going to sit there and rub it. And you can actually feel where the paper still is. And you can just keep using your hands and rub it. Take the cloth, wipe the excess paper off so you know that you're feeling what's left and not what's been pushed off already. There you go. So you're just going to take it and rub it off. Just like so. And rub it. Take the cloth, wipe the excess paper off so you know that you're feeling what's left and not what's been pushed off already. There you go. So you're just going to take it and rub it off. Just like so. That's it. And just keep rubbing and rubbing until all the paper comes off. You can wet again and rub again. You will notice it's okay if some of the image didn't stick on, and you get little places where it's kind of coming off. It's not a big deal. The biggest part is you just want to try and get as much as the paper off, because if you don't have a light background, the papers can show a little bit. If you don't get it all off, it will show a little bit. Just wipe it off. I have probably a bigger image than some of you are doing, maybe, so it might take me a little bit. So if you want to fast forward through this part of the video again, you can. But I'm just rubbing, and you can see I'm rubbing the same spots multiple times. I like to use my hand instead of the rag or a sponge, because two things. One, I can feel it. I can feel how hard I'm pushing down. I can feel the paper coming off. And two, I can control, like, texture-wise. Like, this has got bumps and ridges in it, so I can feel how I'm doing. That side's pretty good. Nice. Now, if you can look, you could see I had one part of the image that didn't stay on, but that's okay. But I'm getting her done. Alright, we're going to switch sides here. I'm going to do this side, and you can keep using the rag, keep squeezing the water on, getting it wet. Alright. Looking good. So I'm going to, again, if you want to fast forward through this part, you can, because since this is a project I'm using this for, I'm going to make sure it's done pretty good. So if you want to fast forward through this part, you can. But you can see it's really so easy to do this, because technically, after you do this part and get all the paper done, you have one more step and you're done. So it's really such an easy project, and the kids can do it for stuff in their room, or just even as an art project. It's really great. So what I do is, after I get all the paper done, after all the paper's gone, I don't really feel much, I take my paper towels. This is why I want paper towels for you, is because you can just kind of dry the surface. Once you rub it down a little bit and dry it, and you can kind of see what pieces of your image, like mine, for example, is letters, what letters are a little duller than others, and then if you rub your finger over it, you could say, oh, you could see and feel that there's more paper on it. So that's why I like to dry it first, and then I check it out and see what places are a little bit more duller than others, and I'll run through it again to make sure all the paper's off. Alright, I think we're pretty good. I think that's pretty good. And you can see, you can't really see. It came out really nice. Came out real good. Okay, so and the last step that I like to do is, hold on. You wait like a minute or two. You stop doing this and you wait a minute or two after you dried it off. You might just find some other places where you left some. But, okay, we're good. So that's why I say it's messy, because you have to clean all that up later. So what I like to do is, once I have this all done and all the paper off, as much as I think that I can get it off, but sorry, if you're like me, you're just gonna, okay, I'm done. So, what I like to do is, once I have that done, is I like to take a coat of Mod Podge, because like I said, it dries 100% clear, and I like to put it on there. If you read the Mod Podge, if you read the bottle, the Mod Podge, it does say glue and finish. So I like to put it on afterwards too, just to make sure everything is all intact. I like to use it as a finish because it matches the bottom, the base, pretty much. The base is glue, is the Mod Podge glue. So it matches the base. So I like to keep like products together, just like sometimes, you know, use the same shampoo and the same conditioner. I want to use the same base and the same finish, coating for my finish. So I'm not using a polyacrylic. Those who watch my videos know, my stories on Instagram and stuff know I love polyacrylic. But I'm not using that on this. I do want to use like products with this. It's just kind of maybe more of a pet peeve than anything. You can use polyacrylic if you want for your finish. Won't hurt anything, and won't make it look worse or bad. Worse. It won't make it look bad or anything like that. So just go ahead and put it on. Acrylic if you don't want to use the Mod Podge. And then you let that sit. The Mod Podge usually doesn't take that long to dry. I would say a couple hours. The bottle tells you how long. I would say go a little bit longer than the bottle tells you. It says here dries 20-30 minutes between coats. So you should be good. And that's it. And there you have it. I have the last coat, top coat on. It's a little white. Don't be nervous. Like I said, it does dry 100% clear, as you could see when we took the paper off. So that's that. And let me get you. Hold on. Alright, sorry, I'll fast forward that part. I will get you the finished product, and this is the drawer that I have finished, if you haven't seen it on Instagram already. But it's going to come out fantastic. And again, whatever surface you want to put it on, whatever item, whether it's a dresser or a tray or a chair, people do on the back of chairs, it's going to look fantastic. Don't be nervous. This is a great first DIY project if you're just getting into DIY projects. Highly recommend it. So I hope you like my video. If you have any comments or questions, or if I didn't cover something, if you want to see more videos like this, just DM me, let me know, send me a message. I will definitely answer you back. Thanks, guys. Hey guys, okay, so as promised, here's my DIY video on how to do transfer images using Mod Podge. Hey guys, okay, so as promised, here's my DIY video of transferring, on how to transfer images using Mod Podge. I quit. Hey guys, okay, so this is like the 100th take, and that's why I'm taking so many takes. Hey guys, okay, so as promised, here's my oh, so stupid. This is so I can't.